What's going on, y'all? You know where I'm at, and you know what I'm about to do. It's player partner Cal. I want to holler at the birds real quick, and I just want to drop a little bit of game. What you see before you right now hasn't always been this way. I used to be very, very, very insecure in my life. I was insecure in my position in life. I knew that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. I knew that I wasn't hitting on all cylinders. And when you're not hitting on all cylinders, that stuff will translate into every other aspect of your life. For an example, when I first came up here to Maryland, I was a stay-at-home dad, right? Being a stay-at-home dad was the most honorable job I've ever had. To women that have to be stay-at-home mothers, I understand it. It's not easy at all. It's a thankless job, but I did it. Proudest job I've ever had. Also, it was probably the brokest I've ever been in my life. You talking about broke. When I say broke, I mean having $200 to your name and the phone bill is due broke. I'm talking about your car note being $400 and you only got $50 broke. I'm talking about being on unemployment broke. I'm talking about your business, right? My business having months to where I didn't even break $1,000. That broke. So I've been at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. I done had to live in my truck before. I done had to go days without eating. I had to do some stuff that I never thought I would have had to do. I'm telling you that because that made me very insecure as a man. Because my wife at the time, she was pulling the heavy load. She was the one providing. She was the one that was footing the bill. And I'm sitting here like, damn, why am I not stepping up and doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Why is my life not going the way that I thought it was going to be, right? That leads to a lot of insecurity in your relationship. That leads to a lot of insecurity within yourself. So whenever we be getting fights or whatnot, or have a big altercation, I'm like, damn, this is it. She done found somebody new. And it wasn't even about her finding somebody new. It was about the man that she was with wasn't producing. Did we make an agreement for us to come up here and for me to be a stay-at-home dad? Yes, we did. It made sense financially. But still, bros, I'm here to tell you, if you're not producing, nobody's gonna care. Whether it's a valid excuse or it's not a valid excuse. In my case, I had a valid excuse, right? Daycare was $275 a month. If I would have got a job, I just would have been working to pay for daycare. So it wouldn't have made any sense. So we decided for me to stay home, which was good in the long run for Kamai, but still, it's something about a man not being able to produce, a man not being able to put food on the table like he wants to, that it messes with you. It messes with your mental, and it messes with mine. Would I do it again? Yeah, but I do some things differently. I appreciate the time I got to have with Kamai. I appreciate the relationship that we have. But at the same time, this world is not set up for men to not produce. If you're not producing, nobody's going to care, whether you have a valid excuse or not. So, like I said before, that led to different insecurities and different problems in the relationship. Bruh, I'm here to tell you, your woman might be fine with taking care of the load right now, but you have a time limit. All right, I'm here to tell you that. You have a time limit to get your shit together. Don't depend on that for the rest of your life. You really shouldn't be dependent on that at all. In my situation, it was a situation where I had to, because I refused to be away from my child. I wasn't about to be 15 hours away from my baby. So I made that sacrifice to leave my job and come up here. But if you're not in that situation, bros, you might be down and out for a little bit. I understand, life happens. People lose jobs. Things happen, right? But it's your responsibility. If you want to be a leader, if you want to be a leader, only if you want to be a leader, to always try to find ways to get back up and to win that life. I had given up that life. I didn't give up on being a father, because that was probably the best thing I've ever done. But I gave up in other aspects. And in retrospect, looking back on it, I can see why somebody wouldn't want to entertain themselves with somebody like that. You wouldn't want to be with somebody like that, right? That's not doing everything they can in their power to try to make the situation better. So that played a part in my marriage failing. Like, of course, that wasn't the end all be all. But when you go back and you look at it as men, sometimes you have to just take accountability for the stuff you can, right? And so this is me taking accountability for the things that I could have done better, but I'm doing it now. And it took me going through that. It took me going through my ass. It took me, getting on my ass, falling on my ass, being on my dick, having my world turned upside down with divorce, for me to look at myself in the mirror and say, no more. This is not what I want to be in my life. So my birthday was this past weekend. It was yesterday. I reflected on where I was at 33. I reflect where I am now at 34. And now my life is I feel like it's finally on track for the first time in a long time. I'm more focused now, purpose-oriented, driven, still a great father, right? Still a great family man. I'm not gonna ever not be that just because me and the mother aren't together. But you just gotta stop making excuses for your life, man. And it's hard. Like, I understand. Trust me, if don't nobody know, I know, because stuff happens to dudes all the time that we can't control, but we still get blamed for it. We still got to carry the load. So I chose to carry the load. I chose to stop ignoring it. I chose to stop living in the now, and I decided to do something about that. So this is just a PSA to other bros that might be going through something like that. And it ain't even necessarily got to be about money. I know money is the main thing, but if you feel like you're not just excelling in life, if you feel like you're stagnant, if you're stuck, I'm telling you, there is light at the end of the tunnel. But you have to get out of that rut. I know depression is real. You might be going through something at home. I feel it, bro. I understand. But if you want to be that leader, heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's what you have to do. You have to pick it up. Pressure is built for shoulders, not hips. You got to be able to handle it. And if you can't handle it, put it down for a little bit. But you pick it back up and you keep going. So I put it down for a little bit, but hey, I picked it up, and now I'm going. Now we Charlie Miking, now we trucking. So here's cheers to a good 34. Looking forward to what the year brings, and the road to 40, and just acquiring resources and just having your way. Because I'm telling you, from this point on, I'm gonna be having my way. And I advise y'all do the same. Get your ass up.